there are some people who witnessed the resurrection of Jesus even later. Therese Neumann was one of them. She experienced the Passion of Christ on her own body more than 700 times. Therese Neumann was a farm girl who became very well known as a Catholic mystic due to her stigmata and her long-standing abstinence from food. This provoked veritable pilgrimages. She lived in this house in Konnersreuth from 1898 to 1962. From February 1926, Therese Neumann showed stigmata as well as bleeding from the eyes. According to her statements, she saw Jesus sweating blood on the Mount of Olives. A wound 3 centimeters long and about 1 centimeter wide appeared in her heart area. Later, there were wounds on her hands, feet, and head. Smaller wounds appeared over her entire body, which were interpreted as traces of being beaten. The stigmata on the heart, hands, and feet usually bled every Friday during her visions of the Passion of Christ. On Good Fridays, the body and head wounds also bled, and tears of blood flowed from her eyes. The reports of these experiences resulted in a large number of visitors. At times, up to 5,000 visitors were present on Good Fridays, when the stigmatizations were particularly evident. As of 1926, Therese was also said to have completely fasted aside from participating in the Holy Communion. Therese Neumann wore the stigmata to her life's end. Now following is an account from Therese Neumann of a vision she had in which Jesus appeared to his disciples. And while they were talking to each other, suddenly the Savior was there. I do not say the Savior came. I say, all of a sudden the Savior was there, not on the ground, a bit higher, floating in the air. He said, Shalom lachon ana litvo. That means, hail to you, it is me, do not be afraid. Oh, now they looked in disbelief. At first, no joy. Then they talked. Then they pushed half a sofa towards him. Then they told him to sit down, and he really sat down. And then the Savior talked to them. But they still could not believe it. They must have thought something was wrong. They must have thought, we are just imagining it, or this is not true. Then he said something to them, and then, because the Savior insisted, they brought him something to eat, fried fish and pieces of honeycomb. Then he ate, just so they could see it. He was not hungry. And then when they saw that he could eat, they rejoiced. Then he talked to them for a while, quite seriously. He will have explained to them what this all means. And all of a sudden, he stood up. Then he looked up to the sky and said something powerful. I heard, Abba, that means the Father, or also my Father. And then he breathed on them, into the face of each of the 10. And then he breathed on the others as well, first on one, then another, and then another. And he always said the same thing. And then he raised his hands over all of them and said something powerful again. I could feel it. And then he was gone, just gone. With others, with people, they say they came or they went away. You can't say that with the Savior. With the Savior, I do not say he came. Rather, suddenly he was there, and not he went away. Rather, all at once he was gone.